We count on our Nevada judges to hold criminals accountable, ensuring community safety and proper sentencing, especially for crimes as violent as this one. But in this case, those who've been in Clark County's legal community for decades say the system didn't work as locals might expect. Tavari Pearson was already in trouble with the law when he attacked and nearly killed his therapist during an outdoor counseling session at Spring Mountain Youth Camp, a county residential facility for juvenile offenders with schooling provided by the Clark County School District. Pearson was 15 years old at the time, but was charged in the attack as an adult. Court records show the therapist saw Pearson for about 4 months in 2022. The day of the assault, he told her he was upset that he'd been kicked off his high school track team, so she suggested they take a walk outside.
She doesn't remember much, thank goodness, in a sense. On the other hand, she knows what she woke up to. You know, she was basically left to die in a ravine. And thank God she was found.
Attorney Robert Murdoch is representing the unnamed victim in an ongoing civil lawsuit against Clark County, alleging Pearson was too dangerous to be at Spring Mountain Youth Camp in the first place because he'd sexually assaulted someone before, and his therapist was kept in the dark about his history. The lawsuit says Pearson pushed his therapist to the ground, pinned her down, tried to kiss her, knocked a walkie-talkie out of her hands, and began to beat and strangle her.
Then he took a rock and hit her head, okay? She's got fractures all over her face. And ultimately, he sexually assaulted her. This is something that's so dangerous and so out of the norm for youth that it's scary.
Pearson was originally charged with 7 counts. 2 battery charges, including one with a deadly weapon, 2 sexual assault charges, 2 counts of attempted murder, and coercion.
It is a very difficult case to read about. This guy was a savage. I don't care if he was 15 years old or 16. What he did to this lady was terrible and tragic.
Former District Attorney David Roger was not involved in the case, but read the details and reviewed the plea deal Pearson took, which resulted in Pearson being found guilty of only 2 charges: attempted sexual assault and attempted battery with intent to commit sexual assault.
There will be a lot of people who will disagree with this sentence.
On December 4th, the prosecutor asked the court for a sentence of 8 to 20 years in prison. But Judge Erica Ballou sentenced Pearson to just 6 months behind bars, followed by 5 years of probation, with credit for the 2.5 years he's already served.
Everybody draws justice differently. I'm sure that the judge was swayed by the fact that the defendant had mental health issues and was 15 years old. You know, as a former prosecutor, I draw the line differently. He crossed the line in this case, and from my perspective, prison time would have been appropriate.
Pearson's attorney, a Clark County public defender, asked the court for the 6 months in CCDC until Pearson turns 18, when he'll enter a program at Desert Regional Center, a state agency that serves people with developmental disabilities. The defense attorney argued that Pearson would not be able to get counseling in prison. Yet he committed this crime in the midst of a counseling session.
Sure. The criminal justice system looks at a lot of different factors. There's rehabilitation, but from my perspective, when you commit a crime that is this violent and has affected a lady, an innocent person, punishment should be the focus in this, and not whether the person can be rehabilitated.
In the court record, the court expressed it wanted people to get help. How common is it to see where the state asks for a significant sentence and the judge sides with exactly what the defense wants? No meeting in the middle, just what the defense wants is what the defendant got.
Judge Ballou is a former public defender. I think she sees things a little differently than others.
Pearson's probation does come with conditions. He's on the court's only chance list. He'll have a curfew and be required to work, go to school, or complete regular community service. The court also ordered a special sentence of lifetime supervision, and he must register as a sex offender. Darcy Spears, 13 Investigates.